What is up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a player in my program. I'm interviewing Alejandro Cervantes. And this is a player that I've been working with for a while, and I'm really excited for this interview. He brings a different aspect to his own journey, just like any of these players do when I interview them. And I just love talking to this kid. I really enjoyed helping him, transform his skills. I do believe that is the end result that he ended up getting from here. And, I just love the confidence he has now. So let's hear from him.
What's up, guys? I'm Alejandro. I'm 16 years old, junior in high school. This is my second year on varsity. I'm pushing to be a starter this year. I'm working hard every day, disciplined, controlled, just to achieve my goals and get where I want to be.
Yeah. So let's start here, man. Where were you before you and I started working together, like in your career, your skill level, things like that?
When I first started working with you, I was exiting my sophomore year over the summer. I'd only been catching for like a couple months, I want to say 6 to 7 months right there. And I was really struggling a lot with my receiving and mainly my blocking. So I wasn't like fundamentally a strong catcher.
Yeah, I gotcha. And then where was like your mentality and kind of your leadership, would you say, as a catcher behind the plate, and like more importantly, confidence?
My mentality was always win the next pitch. If one pitch didn't go my way, I'm gonna do what I can to win the next one. And obviously, as a catcher, I knew that that's a position where leadership is a big role. So I knew I had to like lead my team for like be a bigger person, not call them out, help them out to mental wise to keep their head in the game and not focus on anything else until the game was over.
Yeah, no, I love that. Also, man, I want to transition into, what did you need to work on specifically in your skills? And it could be mental as well. What specifically, when you dive into that, were some attributes of your catching that you needed to work on?
Specifically, my blocking. My blocking was bad. I would always go to pick the ball instead of getting in front of it. And honestly, I would say my receiving too. I would stick my arm out fully extended before the ball even get to me. So a lot of the times I would end up bobbing my hand. So I'd drop, come back up, and then drop again instead of staying down, waiting, and coming through the pitch. I would receive it late. But yeah, mainly my receiving.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that checks out from everything in my evaluations as a coach.
hmm
And I know those were things that you were kind of concerned about going forward, but you were really honest about. So I really appreciated that. What were the adjustments you and I made within the program specifically to fix each one of those?
Definitely my posture. My eye level, I was able to change where I'm seeing the ball coming in, so it's easier for me to track it and decide whether or not to block or I could get in there, frame it, and go work through it. But definitely that. And also just like the drills, man. The drills helped a lot. Pre-game routines, everything. I was able to feel comfortable to block in any stance. Just overall body positioning, posture, eye levels.
Yeah, I mean, that's all solid stuff, and that's the truth. We definitely did. We're able to come up with that, plan of attack based off of those things that you needed addressed. And, I think it definitely worked for where you are now for sure. So let's go into that. What were the results you achieved inside the program and just overall in your catching and as a player, and could be mental as well?
Now I'm actually working for my starting spot. Before last time I talked to you, it was a 50-50 chance. Now I'm leaning more, I'm looking more as a starter than second stream, which is great. Honestly, it's amazing coming into a junior year. That's exactly where I want to be. I want to be the starter on varsity. It's a big role. And now I feel fundamentally strong everywhere. I feel natural at the position. Everything comes smoothly. I'm able to receive the ball smoothly, block the ball smoothly, to a point where I don't get past balls anymore. Like you see me miss a ball, it's like, damn, like, I wouldn't expect that. And that's honestly all from your program. It really helped me a lot, taught me a lot. Try to be fundamentally strong, fundamentally reactive, everything smooth, quick. Just let it come naturally, man.
Oh, for sure, man. I think one thing I noticed that you had even from the beginning, and you brought such like a mature vibe to the program. Like you like kind of knew exactly what you needed to do. You knew you needed help, and you were very coachable, which was awesome. So you were mature and coachable. And yeah, that's exactly, I think, why you got the results, and you knew exactly what you were working for. So let's talk about how you got those results. What was it like in the program? What was your experience for anybody watching this to know, what it's like to be inside the program, in your own words, and just things like that?
Being in this program, it taught me a lot because I thought of it as something I wanted to do. Like if I wanted to do, I had that goal to myself. Obviously, like I said, to be a starting catcher on varsity, I knew I would have to work to it. And this program taught me that nothing's just gonna be handed to me. Like I need to work to it to get there. And that program, it helped me a lot because you were able I was able to reach you 24 hours a day, and you'll respond quick. It was not like something where I'll text you one day, you wouldn't respond till a week later. I would get the answer within that same day, or if not the next. And that's something that really helped me a lot because it gives you instant feedback, and it tells you what you're doing wrong to improve it on the next time you train. And it's a day-to-day basis, so it's something you have to get done. And I would recommend that for people that have a good work ethic, that don't need people there in person, that are able to get stuff done on their own, the people that like to practice, that really enjoy the game more than anything, that are working to get better every single day. They want to improve, they want to see results. Because a lot of people say they want to see results, but at the end of the day, they don't do anything to change how they play. So I would say that this program, that is exactly what it's for. I would every day. Obviously, since I started around the summer, I'd be outside every day, probably like 4 o'clock. The sun's still out, but it's not as hot, and just working every day, multiple reps, multiple sets, till I feel like I got it right, and visualize the videos from what I see, send them to you, get my feedback, and keep working from there. What I've been doing wrong, fix it, make the adjustment, and work till it feels natural.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you couldn't have said it better. And for a guy in your position who, you wanted the work, even when we got on our first calls, like, especially your dad's like, this guy works hard, all that. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And sure enough, you worked hard. And that's like the kid I want to guide. That's a kid I want to lead. And, you were able to take advantage of that. You invested in it and you took advantage of your investment. And that's amazing. Like, you can't ask for anything else, man. I want to go into a question similar to that. Who would you say this program is for? When you think about the program is for, who would get the best results?
Like I said, it's mainly for the people who really want it, How I said, there's people that say they want to get better, but at the end of the day, they come home and they just throw everything aside and play video games all day. And then there's the people, obviously, like the people in this program who want to get better, they're willing to do what it takes. They come home after practice, they get the extra work, and they take what they learned in practice, combine it with your drills, and add it all together and strive to become, in this case, a better catcher. And honestly, I think it's just that mainly the people with a good work ethic and don't mind putting in the work, that they enjoy it, they enjoy the game, they know what it takes to get better.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's another way to word that, especially with, when a player is watching this interview right now who could be like, I don't know if this is for me or something. And probably if you're having doubts, if you feel like this is going to be too much or too hard, then it's probably not for you because, you really got to want to grind. And that's the only way you're going to see results. Like, that's why you work with me. So now on the flip side, who would you say this program isn't for?
For the people who don't want anything probably after high school, that they're just taking it obviously for fun, and then after high school they have other plans that don't involve baseball. And also just the people who don't have the work ethic, don't have the time. So this program takes a lot of time. It's all on your own time, and it's up to you to get it done. Obviously, every day it's willing to work. But those people who, like, obviously, like I said, they don't have the time for it, and it's probably not for you, because at the end of the day, you're gonna feel like you wasted your money because you were never able to do the drills. And that's not a waste on Coach Brock's part, because he's trying, doing what he can to help you out, and that's on you for not doing it. But I would say that it's the people who don't have the good work ethic, don't have the time, aren't willing to do what it takes, and just the people who don't want anything after high school.
For sure. And that's one thing I like to be honest about. Like, I've had almost everybody come in through the program do great and all that, but there's been, a very small amount, I think one or two guys where, it's been like they joined and after a while they just phased out and they didn't want to work anymore. And, I quit hearing from them. So, that stuff is real because not every kid truly wants it like the player I'm trying to work with and I'm trying to serve. No, that's very well said. Now going into the next thing, would you recommend this program to somebody else? Maybe someone in your exact situation, or, a buddy who's a catcher who's looking for instruction?
For sure, without a doubt. Like I said, this program really helped me a lot to feel fundamentally smooth, be active to a point where I've gotten compliments from players, coaches, opposing teams. It really makes you feel overall just better in every possible way that you could think of as a catcher, from transitions to blocking, receiving, throw downs. everything, every aspect of the game that you need as a catcher. This program is exactly for that, and I appreciate that from you. And I'm glad I really found you where I did when I did, because that's exactly when I needed it. And I definitely would recommend it to other people, because if it helped me, why couldn't it help them? You know, especially if I know that, like you said, like other players who are in the same situation as me, I would definitely recommend it to them because it's something that they need. Because obviously, yeah, everybody could look up a drill on YouTube and and do it. But doing the drill and getting feedback are two completely different things. Because once you get that feedback, you know if you're doing it right or wrong, and that's what helps you grow, like in anything. That the feedback and constructive criticism, that's what makes you grow. That's what gets you better. That's what makes you fundamentally smoother.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think something to note for anyone watching this is the fact that like you came to me on Instagram and we got the process, we got on a call and then found out you're a good fit. So it's that simple. So if you're watching this and you follow me on Instagram and you're like, I don't know, how do I reach him? Like all Alejandro really did was message me or I messaged him, one or the other. We had a good conversation. We got on a call with him and a parent and then he decided like, yeah, this is what I need to do and I want to invest. I want to make the commitment and that's exactly what you did and that's why you saw the result. So no, I appreciate that, those words and all that. So let's kind of shift the conversation a little bit into more about like online training versus in person, things like that. So my first question would be, what beliefs did you have about online training before working with me?
Before working with you, I was always like kind of skeptical about it. So I was like, no, like it's not gonna be the same. You know, drills are drills, but at the end of the day, like they're gonna be there in person to help you like instantly. But once I actually started working with you, I realized that it was like honestly complete opposite, and that plays a big part as how you are as a coach, because you're always there for us 24/7. You have us in the community talking to other players who are, for the most part, going through the same situations. And you're giving us one on one feedback instantly, immediately, giving us drills every day, working to get better. And besides that, when it's in person, the majority of the time, you're not going to be going every day. You're not going to be doing the same drills every day. It's going to be like once a week, twice a week, maybe. And I think that's really what helped out too, was that you're doing something new every day and it pushes you to get better and more comfortable quicker.
No, for sure. And I think you're valid, man, like, to come into it being maybe skeptical or wondering because it is new, but we go through the math. Okay. So if you're able to work with an in-person coach, you're most likely only able to work with him one time a week, and that's 1 hour of his time. You're working with me every day, like we talked about, with your full custom plan, evaluation whenever you need it, the community, things like that, and the group calls, those four pillars. The value you're getting is you're actually focusing on catching every single day. And I'm not asking for 2 hours. It's usually about 30 minutes, maybe 45, things like that. So you can get better. And for a player who wants to go to the next level, that's like nothing. That should be nothing. So that's one thing I like to incorporate. And especially with the whole idea of if I had the answer to your question, do you care if I delivered it to you in person, if I drove to your house in person and, handed it to you on your front door? Or would you care if I just called you and told you the answer to your problem? So that's my theory of, it really doesn't matter how the information gets relayed. It's more about, are you getting the information? So do you kind of agree with that in after going through the program?
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because as we both said earlier, it's really more on the player than on the coach. Because if the player really wants it, they're going to be able to do it. And that's exactly what this program talks about, teaches, and that's what it's for.
100%. My last question with like remote training, like if you had to put it directly, like in just one sentence or, even just a few, like just straight up remote versus in person, what would you have to say? Last words.
I would say the remote training is honestly better than in person, simply just because you have the possibility to have connection with the coach every day and just get constant drills every day.
I love that. Yeah. And I mean, I fully agree. If I was a player, my ideal situation would be having an in-person coach every single day because I just like that vibe of, doing that. There's almost no coach who you're going to find who's going to be able to do that. So the next best thing is 100% a remote program where it's tailored to you because, I came from a family who, they were willing to help me with my career. They were, just similar to your dad. He's like, hey,
Yes.
if this is going to help you, let's do it. But with my parents, they were like, I really want to make sure this is going to work.
Yeah, it's really all about support. Support's a big thing from the family. If you have your family support, I feel like you have the possibility to do anything because it makes you feel comfortable. Like you could branch out and you'll be fully supported. You know, your family has your back, people have your back, so you're not afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I mean, for anyone watching this, you just see that maturity again from someone who's a junior in high school and understands that concept. That's awesome, man. I love that. It's one of my favorite parts so far that you've even said. Now, what would you say to somebody on the fence right now watching this, or just somebody who maybe has watched my content for a while, has thought about the program, but just hasn't really, taken the next steps to dive in? What would you say to them?
I would say definitely hit Brock up, guys. Like realistically, like I'm not joking when I say this. I'm being completely brutally honest. Brock is one of the best coaches I've ever dealt with. He's one of the best things that like has ever came into my life, and I'm so glad I hit him up on Instagram. Because if I didn't, I don't know where I'd be at right now without like all everything he's taught me with, helped me with. It's definitely truly a great experience to do. You know, who knows if you like it, you're gonna have a really good time because I had fun doing this. Obviously, yeah, I was serious when I was working, but I enjoyed it, and now it's something that I do every day. It's my daily routine, stretches, mobility training, my receiving drills, warm up with bands, long toss, everything. It's something that once you learn it, you're gonna apply it into your game, and you're never gonna forget about it. Like realistically, with the bands training for receiving that Brock has helped me with, I do that every day before practice, every day before games, just to feel fundamentally smooth and I know what I'm dealing with. It's not just a drill, but it's more of an effective way to really feel your way through what you're working with.
No, that's another really good way to put that. And man, I just appreciate that so much. I appreciate your words. I say this because every player I work with like teaches me something unique, and like I just feel like you brought this like sense of maturity that even held me to a higher standard, bro. So as much as like I helped you that you think, bro, like you've helped me in a time where I'm getting this up and running, and you're like a guy who truly believes in what I'm doing, even at times where maybe I didn't even know, like, do players even like what I have? For you to even say that, dude, that means a lot on a whole nother level that people probably don't understand. So, dude, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you. If it wasn't for your program, like I said, dude, I don't know where I'd be at right now.
And it's just a start, man. Like, seriously, you're going to go forward. You're going to get this starting job. You're going to start, working on the recruiting process and your journey there. And dude, like our goal is to get you an offer 100% now that you have these skills. So dude, that's just awesome. I've really enjoyed this interview. I just want to ask one last time, like, is there anything else you want to say? Just anything that comes to your heart?
Yeah, I'll mainly want to say thank you for the viewers watching this, taking their time, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Brock. Really, everything you've helped me with, dude. It's been an amazing journey to see where I started. I go back and watch those videos today. Watch how much I've grown from then to now. It's dude, massive step. So it's really, really good program, guys. You guys should definitely check into it. If you guys are barely starting, or even if you guys just want to do extra work, just to, you're decent enough to get the starting spot, but you want to get better. Something you guys should definitely get into, especially like how Brock said, if you guys want to advance to the next level, something you guys should definitely check out. It's an amazing journey, guys. Amazing journey.
Man, come on. Come on, let's go, man. I love that. That's huge. And this is going to help many players, someone who's watching this right now. And that's amazing of you, Alejandro. Dude, you got huge things coming. Like I said, I learned a lot from you. Couldn't have picked a better interview. And just the things you said and how honest you were, dude. So that's great. Thank you again for your time, man. I appreciate that. Now, for anybody viewing this, I just wanted to let you know that I am going to put my booking link for my calendar where you can schedule a call in the description of this video. I do this because usually the next step after you're interested or we have a conversation is to get on a call. This is where I'm just going to be honest about everything in the program. I'm going to go about, the day-to-day, how things look. And then you and a parent can, totally see just everything open book, what the evaluation will look like, what the process will look like, and the commitment. So if you are interested at all, just get on a call, schedule a call. I'll talk to you. This call is free and I'm not charging anything for it. We're just going to talk and go forward. So, this is exactly how a guy like Alejandro went through the process and now is able to see results. So that is your next step, is to just get on a call. Very simple. If you want to find me on Instagram, if you haven't seen that by now, it's at Backstop Bill, my Facebook as well at Backstop Built, and then finally my YouTube where you're viewing this at Backstop Built. So if you also want to see more additional information or any more testimonials, you can go through my YouTube, or you can click the link that is in my Instagram bio, which is going to give you more information about my vision statement and some of the things I do. But just like Alejandro, I want to serve as many catchers as I can. I want to help grow them in their faith and their physical skills and their mental skills as well. So, Alejandro, I believe that is what we were able to accomplish together. We worked together for a while, and I just want to say thank you again. And that is all I got. So, thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.